university for what? I don't want to do this anymore. It literally just implied to me that teachers would be better off being a teacher if they were able-bodied as opposed to someone who wasn't, so someone like me, because I'm not able-bodied, I have an invisible disability, and I oftentimes find that I always have to justify myself, even though I know very well that I'm not lying about anything, but I'm just telling you the difficulties I'm having, but because I'm so young, it's like no one wants to believe me. Sorry, I got carried away. But hey guys, so in this video, I really wanted to address where equity is at through challenging ableism as someone who has an invisible disability, so multiple sclerosis. I wanted to address this in this video because things have come up over the course of 3.5 years that I have had MS for that I felt needed to be addressed in the context of not understanding why equity was just not being served for those with invisible disabilities in some cases. And it personally does get quite frustrating for me, as you guys just saw early on in this video, which I will get a little more into later on. So I'd personally love to hear of your experiences experiencing ableism in whatever you're doing, because I would just want to hear of these experiences because we're in this together, right? But before I even begin this video, you guys are already going to know what I'm about to say, and that's to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I think it'd be cool. And for now, I hope you guys enjoy this video. To have someone make you feel like you're not qualified enough to be a teacher just because you can't walk here and there, as opposed to that able-bodied person, well, yeah, that's exactly how I felt after talking to no one other than my accommodation facilitator at the university I'm at for Teachers College. Now, I won't get too much into this, but let me just summarize a few points for you guys that tie in with ableism with the call I had with my accommodation facilitator just last week. For instance, on this call, my accommodation facilitator was talking to me about the things that would accommodate me in my practicum because she wanted to be there to support me. In fact, this isn't what the call ended up being. Rather, by the end of this call, this is what I took away. 1, I needed a visible disability as opposed to an invisible one, just to get accommodations for my practicum. And for those of you who don't know what practicum is, it's basically kind of like a placement in Teachers College right now. So my placement is in a Toronto District School Board in a grade 5/6 class. I just had one with kindergarten just last term, but yeah. And why I felt this way was because a call I had with her was about me using a walker to accommodate me, when that's not why I applied for accommodations for my practicum in university. I applied for accommodations so that she would accommodate me and not a goddamn walker. And quote unquote, you know what she literally says to me? You're going to want to reevaluate using a walker if you want to be a teacher. So basically, I don't get accommodations for my practicum because my disability is invisible. But if I use a walker, it's just not going to be invisible anymore. So yeah, Pri, you should use a walker for your practicum so people will understand you. Guys, I'm not even joking when I say this. I was so mind when she said that to me. But I was just honestly just smiling through it all because that's all I do. Smile through it all, Pri. Smile through it all, because that's what gets you through everything. And it was just really goddamn frustrating. The problem with this was the fact that with her tone of voice of talking to me on Zoom, literally implied to me that teachers would be better off being teachers if they were able-bodied as opposed to someone who wasn't, so someone like me. And that's nothing but ableism right there. So after she told me to use a walker and literally questioned me, guys, repeatedly as to why I don't use a walker, was when I literally realized that she wasn't telling me to use a walker for me, per se. Rather, she was telling me to use a walker because then my disability wouldn't be invisible anymore. And it just boggles my mind, because this is literally because invisible disabilities just don't make sense to some people sometimes. Not everyone, but only to some people. And it just frustrates me because it's like they need a visual representation of a disability for it to be apparent to them that, you know what, maybe someone can't walk without using a mobility device. But it's like, no, they don't understand that because you need a visual representation of walker. But no, I don't want to use a goddamn walker because I don't need a walker. Now, why is understanding invisible disabilities that difficult? Because guys, think about it. Invisible disabilities aren't that invisible for those who actually care enough to goddamn look. Where is the equity at for those who are just like me with an invisible disability, who have the desire to pursue certain goals as an able-bodied person does, but it's almost as if able-bodied people are literally put at like a higher pedestal as opposed to everyone else who has a disability. And that's what I find so unfair, because my disability does not define my abilities. And this just gets into my next point. So for me personally, I don't feel that multiple sclerosis defines me, but more specifically, I don't feel that it defines my abilities, and I oftentimes do find that this gets left unnoticed. I've been in university for 6 goddamn years, and I never gave up once. Being in university was definitely so difficult for me while going through multiple sclerosis, especially during the time of my diagnosis, because my entire second year of university, I was unable to walk, but I had no answers that entire year. So that was terrifying, because I remember thinking, I would study for like all these exams and tests and whatnot, and all I can ever think was, Pri, why are you even studying for this if you're probably going to die tomorrow? Now that's the mindset I had. But basically, with multiple sclerosis, why I also brought this up was that I didn't let it define my abilities, because I've been in university for 6 years, right? And I've been working hard. And I literally worked 5 years for my early childhood studies degree, and I got that. And now I'm doing my B.Ed. And I will be done at the end of July, so I'm really looking forward to that, because guys, my brain is going to explode. I can't. Like, I already have scars in my brain. I just feel like I'm creating more scars by being in school. And I honestly, I call out, but you know what, Pri, just a few more months and you'll be done. But yeah, it's just with MS, it definitely put me through hell and back with university. And for those of you who are actually in university right now, who also feel like just giving up, because there have been a few of you who have messaged me on Instagram, I say do you. If you feel like giving up, give up. But if you don't want to give up, then don't give up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever decision you make, I will support you 100%, because I know how difficult it was for me. I'm actually so surprised I even came this far, but yeah. I'm just so goddamn excited to finish school at the end of July, because I worked so hard for something that I didn't even think I could have, and I'm about to have my second degree in university, and I think that's amazing. That's exciting, and I guess I'll see where time takes me, because I definitely don't want to be a teacher, but yeah. But yeah, so basically that was just my little talk about me just going through everything that I was going through with school and being in university somehow, but I did it, so. Making videos on YouTube is not to define my disability. Rather, I make videos on YouTube to, yes, talk about multiple sclerosis, and then that overactive bladder, and then just the things that are just so stigmatized in society. But I also talk about the things that I talk about on YouTube, because if I can help that one person who's watching my video right now who felt the very way that I once did, I want to be that person. I want to be that person to put like the biggest smile on your face, because I know what it feels like to feel so defeated. Now with that said, when I'm filming a video or thinking about posting a video on YouTube, the first thing I literally always think about is, would Pri in 2017, would she had wanted to have seen this video? And why I'm asking myself if I would have just wanted to watch this video, especially in 2017, was because in 2017, when I was going through all the struggles I was going through, I had no one to talk to. Yes, I had my family, but sometimes you just want to talk to people outside of your family, and I didn't have that. I didn't know anyone else who was going through multiple sclerosis or anything, and that's what was really frustrating for me. Now with that said, had I had an MSer, or someone who was going through what I was going through in 2017 to talk about my diagnosis, it genuinely would have made me feel so much better. Or even just for the fact of listening to someone talk about it on YouTube. And without having that, I just felt so alone. I remember this, oh gosh. I remember when I was 19 and I felt so alone because I didn't know who to goddamn talk to. I wanted to find you guys. I wanted to find you guys because I wanted to find people just like me who's going through what I was going through, and I couldn't find that. Like guys, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just makes me so happy to talk about the things that are so stigmatized in society. And with me talking about these things, I'm able to connect with a lot of you guys. And goddamn, had I known if I had just done this earlier, I wouldn't have felt alone in 2017. I wouldn't have gone through depression for the second time in 2017. And yeah, I up, but I found you guys now, so that's great. But that's pretty much it to my video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this video, And let me know in the comments below if you guys have also experienced ableism, because I'm sure you guys have, but I would love to hear your stories. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and check out my blog. I'll post links down below as always. See you guys in my next video that I will do my best to post for next week. And yeah, so bye guys. And if you're not comfortable with leaving comments below, message me on Instagram because I will get back to you. Unless you're like a creep, then no, I'm not getting back to you. You know what I find so funny? When people ask me for my number, like, why do you think I'm going to give you my number when you've never spoken to me before? But